Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Chisum, and today I am going to be sharing with you guys my tips and tricks on how to save. Saving, investing, budgeting is essential, and I think it's so important to learn how to budget in your 20s because it'll set you up for later in life. So I'm going to share with you guys how I budget, how I save, how I create my budget in a way to incorporate giving and tithes, and show you guys how to incorporate biblical principles when it comes to budgeting. So you already know the drill. Before we get started, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's go. I'm going to take you guys to my Excel sheet. And a disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor. I'm just someone who has educated herself on budgeting, saving. It's not an end-all be-all, but this is something that has worked for me, and I feel like this will also benefit somebody else as well. So we are currently on my budget sheet, and I use Google Sheets, and I absolutely love it because it just makes inputting my monthly spendings so much easier. So when it comes to budgeting, I use the 50-30-20 rule, and that is 50% of your income goes to your needs. So this can be rent, utilities, car note, insurance. 30% goes to your wants, so this can be getting your hair and nails done, your subscriptions, and 20% goes to your savings and investments. So that is the method that I use, and I absolutely love it. Of course, those percentages will change based on your monthly income, but that is the rule that I follow, and yeah. So as we can see on my budget sheet, I'm going to do a sample. So say that you make $5,000 a month, so maybe that's around like $1,200 a month or so. So I'm going to go ahead and input that in. That is monthly income, so $1,250 a month. And as you guys can see here, when I input my monthly income, it calculates the tithes for me. So that's the amount I give. That is the amount I give each month back to the Lord, because Lord, you can have your money. Some of you may ask, why do you tithe? I tithe because it's a biblical principle to give 10%, the first fruit of what you make, back to the Lord. It says in Malachi 3:10 that if you, let me make sure that is right. If you bring the whole tithe into the storehouse, that there may be food in my house. Test me in this, says the Lord Almighty, and see if I will not open the floodgates of heaven and pour out so much blessing that there will not be enough room for you to store. So that is something that I really stand by, that verse, because the Lord tells us that if we bless, that He will bless us more. It's a form, I believe that tithing is a form of trust, humility, and stewardship. So I want to add a bit more on the topic of tithing. When we tithe, it is important to look at the intentions of our hearts. Tithing isn't just for us to get back, but it shows that we want to be obedient and that we're giving the sacrifice to God. We're showing Him that you are our source, our financer, you're Jehovah Jireh, you are everything. Even if we don't get anything back from this, you are God, that's where you stand. So I just wanted to add that. Oh, yeah, that is what I do. So right here on the side, you guys see that my $5,000 a month income is pre-calculated. It calculates how much tithe I need to give each month. So I'll be giving $500 in my tithe this month, and this is the amount, $4,500, that I will be spending. This is how much I'll be spending for the month. And so I'm going to allocate these differently. So as I said, 50% goes to your needs. And obviously this will be adjusted. Usually for me, I don't have a lot of wants. I do a lot of things, like I am very much a money saver. So when it comes to my hair, when it comes to my nails, I do that myself. So I usually put more on my wants, the income or the amount for my wants, into my savings instead. And I'm going to show you guys that too. Okay, so now that we have, we know how much money we have to spend for the month, I'm gonna go ahead and calculate my needs. So say that your rent is around $12.50 a month. I go ahead and just put that in, and I should be spending half of the 4,500. So that's around 2,250. Say your light bill is like $30, your insurance is $100, your Wi-Fi is like $45, your car note, if you have one, it would probably be around like, let's say $280. Gas per month, that is a need because you need to get around, I would say $60, and then utilities and water, let's put that as $30. So we have that all calculated. So as you guys can see here, all my needs are calculated. Oh, excuse me, groceries. Groceries, so each month, personally for me, I allocate a certain amount each month or each week of how much I'm going to spend on groceries. And so groceries are definitely a need because you need to eat to stay alive. And so I usually would spend around like $20 to $37. I'm very specific. So let's say we spend $35 a week on groceries, and this is a budget for a single woman, or for a single individual. So say each month that you spend $35 a week on groceries. Oops. So my total for needs comes out to $1,935. Next, I like to move on to my wants. So for the week, I love to spend money. I really don't buy that many things, but say that you get your hair done on a monthly basis. So I'll put that in etc. for wants. So let's say that you spend hair $200 a month. And then maybe for your nails, you spend around like $100 a month on your nails. So that comes out to $2,235. So far we are doing good when it comes to budgeting. And now that we have that, we currently have how much left to spend? We have $2,265 left to spend. And oh, excuse me. Then also for your wants, I count subscriptions as a want. So I definitely use Spotify. Spotify is around like $10 a month. And then for Apple storage, like $3 a month as a want. And if you have like Netflix and things like that, you can also put that as so also for wants, the last thing is eating out. So if you're going on a girls' night out, or maybe spending time with friends, eating out, things like that, that will probably definitely be a want if you're guys are going to go out, go to the movies, things like that. So I would like to allocate $100 a month for festivities. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in my missed expenses. You can also categorize that as your want. Next, since we have around $2,000 left to spend, we are going to go ahead and save. So for savings, I am learning so much more about how to save intelligently, and I'm learning more about how to put some of your savings also in investments, because investments will increase depending on the investments you put your money in. It really depends. You got to do your research, because I'm still learning about all this whole investment game. But you will have a higher return on investment if you invest smartly and make calculated risks. I personally wouldn't put my whole savings into investments. So also for once, the last thing is eating out. So if you're going on a girls' night out, or maybe spending time with friends, eating out, things like that, that will probably definitely be a want if you guys are going to go out, go to the movies, things like that. So I would like to allocate $100 a month for festivities. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in my missed expenses. Okay, so I had to update this budget real quick because I was messing things up. But anyways, this is the updated one. So for rent, for my needs, I've spent around $2,000. For my monthly wants, I've spent around $400. For savings and for giving, that is what we're gonna hit up next. So currently, from our $4,500 income, we have around $2,100 left to spend. Calculate 20% of the total, so 4,400, 500 times 0.20. So $900 go to my savings. $900 minimum go to my savings. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that here. So this is my monthly goal. I usually put like a monthly goal of how much I want to save. So $900 is the minimum I have to save this month. And then I usually like to put categories of other things I like to save. So here I put glow up because I like to save for clothes, vacations, whatever it may be. This will definitely change, but I like to save for different things. So I don't like to pull things out from different areas. Another thing I want to really touch base on is the importance of having emergency savings. And this is something that I'm working on right now. So emergency savings, as I've heard by Anthony O'Neill, you need to save around $1,000 at least in emergency savings. So from the $5,000 budget, put $1,000 away that you're not going to touch, and that's only for emergency. This is if maybe you have a water leak or your car breaks down, you will have that money there and it's not being taken out from your savings. So that is something that to keep in mind as well. So since we have spent, and also I like to treat savings as bills as well, so that is something that I have to do. I have to pay myself, pay my future self. So that is how I like to think of it as. So we have spent $3,248 of our $5,000 income, and so that is actually pretty good. So what I'm going to do, so this is another thing that you can do. If you have any student loans, any type of loan, use the rest of the money to start paying these things down. So treat your loans as bills and pay the amount that you can towards those as well. Because no one wants to be in debt. Debt is not from the Lord. It says in the word that we will lend to many and borrow from none. So that is what I expect. Yeah, no debt for me. So that is it. Yeah. So another thing I have on here is the checking and balances. So I like to know how much is in all my checking accounts. And also right here, how much are in my savings account. So say for example, there is like $10,000 in my savings account. And then currently there's maybe like from there may be like 500, maybe like 100 here. So I know how much I have in each of my checkings. I personally don't like to keep too much money in my checkings because I like to be very strict about how I spend my money. I don't want to be spending frivolously, so I rather just put myself in a bit of a constraint. So another thing that's really important to me is giving. So giving, it says in the Bible that it's more blessed to give than to receive. So I always like to give. Givings can be an offering. So this is a quick message on offering. Offering is an additional amount you give with your tithe. So offerings help the work of the Lord be done in the church, in ministries, in mission trips, things like that. So your offering is going to be different than what you donate to like a charity or organization or things like that. Things can be given to those in need, giving to family members. I always make sure that I am giving a portion of my income away because the Lord wants us as his children to do that. So for giving, with the amount that I have saved, so far we have spent $3,248. So I'm probably going to maybe, let's say we give 100. We gave $100 to a charity in need. Yeah, so we gave $100 to a charity in need. We gave, let's say, like offerings, like 200 to our church. We've spent around $3,248. So that means we have over $1,000 left to spend. And what do I personally do? This is gonna be different for everybody. With that extra money, I'm gonna go ahead and put that in either savings in my investments, or I'll probably put that in a Roth IRA. I think it's so important to start preparing for retirement, even when we're young. So so you can put a portion of your income towards that each month for retirement. And over time it's going to accumulate, because I think it has compounding interest. I'm not too knowledgeable when it comes to Roth IRAs, but that is something that I'm going to be doing this year as well, opening a Roth IRA. Also, with the extra money, since I've saved, since I've done everything I've done, I'm probably going to put these in investments, so probably see how the stocks and cryptocurrencies are doing, and diversify my investment portfolio based on the research that I do. I'm still learning this along the way, so I don't invest like too much into it, but as time goes, as I become more knowledgeable, I do hope to invest a lot more and to take more calculated risk. Calculated risk. Go ahead and put, there's this 20% right here, investments. So we have, let's say we put like $300 in our investments. Oops. Robinhood. So usually also with these totals categories, I like to put the savings and my investments and bundle it into one. But yeah, that is all I have for you guys today. If you guys would love this Excel sheet or Google sheet, I have it linked below. And yeah, that's all I have for you guys. I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye.